Hello there, and welcome back to Language Professora. This is our final introduction to literature session for kids who hate to read. The videos that I will be doing after this video will be focusing on specific texts. So if you have a book that your child is struggling with, put a comment below so I can know what book I will need to focus on. I have one in mind already, but we'll get to that. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the theme. What is the theme of the story? Now, the theme basically is that overall message or moral or lesson that the story is bringing out, right? It's almost like, how should I put it now? It's almost like in every aspect of the story, this information or this feeling is coming out a little bit clearly or a little bit more clear than other feelings, right? So we want to be on the lookout for that. Now, the characters are the persons who play a very key role in enhancing or bringing out the theme in the story, because they're the ones doing the actions, they're the ones who are interacting with each other, and the things that they do, the things that they say, the way they behave with each other, the message that you want to get coming out comes out through them. So what are they doing? What message is being conveyed through their actions? What is the dominant impression when you're dealing with a particular character? Especially if you have done your character analysis. A couple of videos ago, we looked at character. And you know what this character is capable of. When you see this character pop up, you already know, oh, this is this person, this is what they look like, this is how they behave. And so you expect a particular course of action surrounding them. So what message is usually brought out when this character enters the picture? There are some common themes that you'll find in adolescent literature. One of the main ones is love and family relationships. When we talk about love, of course, we're talking about not brotherly or friendship, because that's another theme. Romantic love, that's the word. They're adolescents, and you know the little hormones are kicking and stuff like that. So there is always love coming out. Family relationships as well is another dynamic that comes out. And they tend to twin them, I don't know why, but they tend to twin them, love and family relationships. Because you're seeing a dynamic unfolding, especially if our characters are adolescents, a dynamic unfolding between the character and their family on a whole. You see a different dimension to the feelings that they're experiencing with each other. So that is one of the main themes. Another main theme that you tend to see pop up is religion. Now, let me just put a little plug here. It's not a case where all the themes that I'm discussing you will find in all the books that you have to read. No. You will see some of these themes, and my list is very limited. So perhaps outside of what I am discussing, you have other themes coming out, and that's quite okay. But religion tends to be another very popular theme that you find in adolescent literature. Of course, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, sex and sexuality. The hormones are kicking, and so you see relationships coming to the fore, feelings coming to the fore, emotions coming to the fore. Some literature more than others may get a little bit more graphic in terms of the introduction of the sex and sexuality theme, but it is a theme nevertheless. Of course, for adolescent literature, if our characters are adolescents themselves, growing up is always a major theme. What we see happening with a theme like this is the author tends to track the development of the character or characters through their aging phases. So they may start out as children and you see them entering pre-adolescent ages, and you see them going through the teenage years to some extent, and perhaps even becoming adults. There are a couple books that are coming to mind, but I don't know about copyright infringements in terms of mentioning some books, some texts. I'm trying to err on the side of caution because a lot of books are coming to mind, both Caribbean based and more Elizabethan literature based. But do your research and you'll find that a lot of the books that perhaps those of you who went to high school 10, 20, 30 years ago, a lot of the books that you can recall, and you can drop a comment in the chat to say what are some of the books you recall from your high school years that had this theme of growing up coming to the fore. Of course, friendship and childhood. I kind of alluded to that earlier. But friendship and childhood tends to be another very popular theme in adolescent literature, because the friendships are what sort of enhance the childhood experiences of the characters. Then you have your negative themes, like greed, jealousy, envy, hatred, stuff like that. A couple other themes that come to mind we want to think about in the adolescent literature: peer pressure. We can think about bullying, and bullying in this day and age has so many dimensions. So cyberbullying could be another possible theme, depending on how the novel is written. So basically, when it comes on to your themes, you want to think about the overarching message or lesson or feeling that is coming out. Of course, we have to do a quick recap. So let's go. What is the theme in a story? And I just said it. So let's see how well you were listening. I just said it. The message or the moral or the lesson in the story. Very good. Which story element best brings out the theme? Think about it. Or characters. Excellent. How do the characters bring out the theme? The things they do and the impression they leave with us. Wonderful. So, that's it for our Introduction to Literature series. Look out for the next video. I will not tell you what book we will be doing, but look out for the next video where we will actually be doing a book where all of what we have discussed in this introductory series will be brought out in a practical manner. So, as usual, happy reading!